Hello, hello, Facebook. How's it going out there? Michael Angel Martin coming at you today with another interview. This is going to be with one of our customers. Her name is Sara. I'm going to be bringing her on here with me. And she's got a great little story as well. If you guys were on my live yesterday, I interviewed a fellow named Rob, who, after being a customer with us for a little while, he was able to eventually break free from his job and never have to work again because now he trades full-time from home. Sara has done the same thing. She is job-free, works from home 100%, and she's well on her way to retiring her husband from his job, all from being a customer, going through the training, applying what we have here, and it's seriously changing lives. Hey Jay, how's it going? Can you hear and see me okay? And if you can hear me and see me okay, I'll find Sara and bring her on in. I just want to make sure that everybody can see and hear me just fine. Let me see here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and add on. All right, Sara, I've added you. You should see something popping up over there where you can jump on. Jay says, yes, all good. Okay, good. All right. Just waiting for Sara to jump on. Hopefully Sarah's using her phone. There she comes.
Hello. So I'm just sorting my phone out because it's just a nightmare in this office, right? Okay. I'm not technical at all, as you can see. That's it. Right, I'm there. Hello.
All right, you made it. Did you try on your computer first? Is that what happened?
No, I had my phone set up like that, and it's saying you've got to rotate your phone, and I had it set up on an angle. Oh, I don't know. I'm here though.
That's funny. Awesome. Hold on for one. Let's see what we got here. Break for quick trades, Joshua. Okay. So, anyways, how you doing, Sara?
Yeah, good. Thank you. Yes, all good. Yes, not a very good week trading this week. The markets have been weird this week, but still enough profit to not have to go to work, which is lovely.
Yes, absolutely. So ignore my dogs here barking in the background. They always seem to time it perfectly when I start doing lives and interviews. Well, I wanted to bring you on, Sara, because you've got a pretty cool story, and so I just wanted to kind of just make it kind of quick, just ask some questions here, and first of all, before you even got involved with us, did you even know about Forex and about trading and all that fun stuff?
No, I didn't know what Forex was at all. I didn't have a clue. I thought it was a courier service. So I didn't know what it was.
Funny.
A friend of mine started to do it, and they were talking about it and how you can tap into this $1 trillion a day market. And I just thought of things like Leonardo DiCaprio on the Wall Street films and that sort of thing. And I just thought, how in the hell am I ever going to do that? I just thought there's no way in the world that would interest me in the slightest. And this guy showed me some charts, and I just thought, that looks like a heart monitor. I don't know what I'm looking at. I've got no idea. And to be honest with you, I'm not academic. When I left school, I didn't really go to university. I went to college for about a year and dropped out, and then I worked my life in factories. I was a factory girl on a flow line, nothing at all, stimulating in my brain. And then worked in a cake shop and was just making cakes. So I've never been academic. I failed maths at school. So for me to look at Forex and be where I am now, I still have to pinch myself because I just think, how did I do this? And the reason that I've been able to do it is because the training is so good, so simple. It took somebody like me who knew nothing, and it starts you off in bite-sized chunks, and because it goes so slowly through it and you work at it through your own pace, I could work it at my own pace. I could do a little bit every day until I was happy with it, rewatch videos that I wasn't quite sure about, and it just kind of all started to click into place. And I just thought, well, this is quite exciting. This is quite cool, you know. And that people can say to me, "Well, what do you do?" And I'm like, "Oh, I trade forex," and it's quite cool. And I never thought I'd be able to do it. And I didn't want to go back to work after having my children. I've got a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old, which keep me very busy. And I didn't want to go back to work, and I wanted something to do. And I started some online businesses. I did all right. I was quite good at marketing. I've always been sort of quite gobby, like I talk a lot. So I think my personality kind of carried me through a lot of the way. And then I thought, right, it's time for me now to learn something, to actually sort of forget the fact that, you know, I was a factory girl and I've never done anything with my life. And why can't I now, at this time of my life, put me first and learn a skill? So I thought, right, I'm going to do this. And I've been doing this for 2 years now. I joined IML about 2 years ago. Working my way through. The first year was a disaster with regards to trading. I made so many mistakes. It was unbelievable.
Well, let's talk about that for a second. So, like, when you first came in, you know, when you first came into IML, you know, there's all this stuff, right? There's all these different products. There's all these different trainings. I mean, what was your feeling when you first got in? You're exactly right. It was just maybe a little bit overwhelming at first.
I didn't know what I was doing, and to be honest with you, sometimes there's too much choice. And I think I got kind of lost in it all. And I tried this, I tried that, I tried this, and I never really stuck with anything long enough to master it. And I think that's the key with this. It's to find something that suits your lifestyle, not only your trading style, but your lifestyle, and just master that one thing and get good at it and stop. You kind of got to put your blinkers on and not be swayed by this new strategy, that new strategy, because that's what kind of kept throwing me off. I was doing really well at something, and then a new strategy would come out which was bigger and better than the next one, and I'd go off and do that, and suddenly I'm like, oh, I'd never really mastered that one, and now I'm confused because this one conflicts that one. But now I found something that works for me, works for my lifestyle, and I've kind of mastered it, I guess, because I now can pull money out of the markets. It means I don't have to go back to work.
Yeah, and that's one of the things. That's one of the things that, you know, I want to focus on real quick, is the fact that, you know, it's that shiny object syndrome, you know, that happens to people in all industries. You know, whether you're in marketing or building businesses or whatever. You know, it's one thing about IML that I've always said is it's like a double-edged sword, right? It's great because it has all these choices, and it sucks because it have all these choices because people tend to do exactly what you said. They get this fear of missing out, so they'll focus on a strategy, and, you know, they're still learning it, so they run into some challenges. Meanwhile, they see another person doing a different strategy. Hey, I made 50 pips today, and they're like, oh crap, I'm on the wrong strategy. You know, so they run over there and they try to go through the same process. They see someone over here with a different strategy. Oh crap, and they get that shiny object syndrome, and they jump around. And one of the traits of everybody that's successful, if you go through and track everything, right? Success leaves clues, right? You look at Rob, the guy I interviewed yesterday, same thing, right? Focused on one thing, right? Different than what you do. And, you know, put the blinders on, stayed focused, and he set himself free from his job. You did it with something different. If you go look at the IML educators that are back there, 90% of them didn't know anything about trading before they even joined IML. And they all just focused on one thing. And not only did they set themselves free, but now they're top educators in this platform. You know, and like Christopher Derrick, for instance, you know, he doesn't teach you bounce back one day, harmonic scanner another day. And, you know, he's been teaching the same strategy for 5 years, you know, and that's the key to success, you know, and that's what you finally found your way there. Like, some people take months, some people take years, you know, and it's just, you know, people got to find their own way there. And the battle really is the mindset, right?
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. And I think that the only reason that I'm having success now is because I have gone through that. I've gone through the trying things. I've gone through the failures. I've gone through the losing pips. I've gone through losing profits, and I've gone through all that. And it kind of puts your mind right, because it sets you up for your big success almost, because you've been through all that. And it's the people that don't quit, don't give up, are, you know, are focusing on this, and just if they have a bad day, then they go back and they look at why they had a bad day and they learn from that. So I look at my first 2 years in IML was just, you know, the money that I put into IML with regards to my trading account. That was the best money I've ever spent, because the education that I got from that to be where I am now was worth every single penny. And the whole compounding of my account, and, you know, every day I've got like a planner that I use. And every day I set myself a target. Because I'm a mum, I have to have a list for everything. So I've got this list in front of me, and every day I look at my list and say, right, how many pips do I need to get today? What sort of profit do I need to get today? And how much is that going to compound my account? And as soon as I reach my target, I'm done. I can just stop.
Right.
And that is the hardest thing.
That's a huge key. It is. I mean,
It is.
I've always said, I mean, even your strategy, and by the way, people are asking about the strategy, guys. Sara, just like Rob, teaches our entire team the strategy. We've got the strategies in the group. So if you're not a part of our group, message me, get a hold of me, and we'll get you on board to becoming a customer. And, you know, we've got literally, I'm starting to call them job ending strategies in the group that you can learn. We teach them freely. Sara teaches hers, Rob teaches his, and we've got other people as well teaching them. But what you're going to find out, and what Sara's found out, Rob found out, and you know, is that all these strategies, guys, are so simple you could teach a child to do them, right? It's the mindset's the work, is where the work is at, right?
Yeah.
It's getting over the fear of missing out. It's you know, being disciplined and focusing on one thing, right? Being able to deal with losses and understand that's part of the game, right? And using proper money management so you stay in the game through those losses and get to those wins, right? It's all those things that's going to be your battle with trading. The strategies are so easy, right? They're so easy.
They're easy, but they're simple, but they're not easy because
exactly. Exactly.
It takes a while
when you factor in the mindset, you know, we as humans, for some reason, we go out of our way to make things hard.
Yeah, we overcomplicate everything. So
yeah,
that's where I suddenly had that turning point. Was I was overcomplicating everything, and every time a new indicator or something came out, I was whacking it on my chart. And now I've stripped it back to exactly what was working, and it is the bare basics that you learn in the IML Academy. And the bare basics work. It's getting over that fear of missing out, that somebody's got a better indicator than what you thought you had. And
it's funny you say that, Sara, because this is what I go through, and I've been doing this for years, and this still happens to me, right? I'll start off with a naked chart, and then someone will tell me about an indicator, I'll add it, and I'll hear another one, I'll add it. Next thing I know, it's like 4 months later, and I've got like 8 indicators on my charts, and I look at me and I go, Mike, what the hell are you doing? And I strip it all back down to naked again, and then 5 months later, it's loaded up again.
I know.
I keep going through that cycle. So I saw you post something saying that you had a day, and we're not going to talk numbers here, guys, but you had a day where you made more in one day than you did a whole week at your previous job.
Yeah, it was incredible. I just thought, I've made it now. Do you know what I mean? And the thing is, I can do that consistently now because I've got a consistent plan, and because I'm consistent with what I do with my trading. I consistently can do that every day now. And the goal now is to retire my husband. He's a builder, and his back is gone. His legs are giving up. He's out in the freezing cold. And
amazing builder, by the way.
Yeah, he is. You can see the pizza oven.
I want to move into your house.
And I want to retire him because I feel so bad, because he comes in from work and he's absolutely broken, and he's like, oh, I've just made so and so money today, you know, and I'm absolutely broken. I left the house at 7 in the morning, he's home at 7 at night. And he said, how did you do today? And I said, well, yeah, I made so and so. And he's like, that's more money than I made in a day. He said, well, did you leave the house? I went, no. He said, well, what did you do? I said, well, I did some laundry, I did some cooking, put a few trades on, picked the kids up from school, watched and I made that. And he's like, oh my God, you know, and he's absolutely broken. And I said, look, we can do this because the money's compounding in my account. The lot size obviously is bigger every time I trade, which means the rewards are bigger every time I trade. And our financial goal is so in sight now, and it's keeping him going. He's like, oh my God, I'm, you know, not long now sort of thing. And every day I come in and I tick off my next challenge, you know, the next day I tick it off and I'm like, another lot in there, there's another lot in the pot.
So do you have a date set? Do you have a date set to retire him yet? Have you guys got that far yet?
Not yet. I'm literally, because obviously with trading, you have days where you tick off, and then you'll have days when I'm like, oh, I didn't quite make that one today, so let's see how I get on tomorrow. Oh yeah, I've made it tomorrow, so I tick it off. And then some days you think, oh, I didn't tick that one off today, but I tick 2 off the next day. And it's kind of years, and well, not even a couple of years. If it carries on the way it's going now, it's going to be this time next year, we're going to be sipping margaritas by the sea. And it's going to be wonderful, and we're going to be tired. You know, it's going to be fantastic. So, and for me to come from the background that I came from, to be able to have something like this where I can say I could be, you know, have that sort of money or income from something. Sorry, my children are trying to come in. Sort of income from something that I've learned. Where, do you know what's amazing me? Somebody said to me once, I earn money doing trading, the same sort of money that somebody like a surgeon would earn. And they have spent 12 years in medical school, or however long they've spent in medical school, to earn that kind of an income. And I learned to trade Forex. And you can have these big incomes just from learning this skill, but you need to give it, you need to take it seriously. And if you take it seriously and learn this stuff, my God, the future is incredible.
Let me ask you this question, Sarah. Let me ask you this question. Now, it took you 2 years to get, to get through, the point where you're at right now. If if someone new was coming in today, or say if you were coming in new today, and I handed you the strategy that you're using right now, and you stayed focused on that strategy for 90 days, right? Would you feel you'd be well on your way, to freedom a lot quicker, than it took you?
Yeah, I think if somebody could, because if somebody's got to go through that psychological journey as well. So if they come in, they could trade, they could do what I'm doing. It's not a problem. They could do that. It's if they need to go on that psychological journey as well. They need to have a couple of losses, and they need to have a bad day here and there.
Right. That's why I tell people to dedicate 90 days. Right. Dedicate 90 days, because you're going to be able to see, the ups and the downs. You're going to be able to deal with those emotions that get triggered. Now, I'm not saying that you'll be financially free in 90 days. No. But I believe that, if you have a plan in place for 90 days, at the end of that 90 days, you're going to feel confident about where you're going. Like, you'll be able to sit there after 90 days and go, you know what? I'll be able to retire at this point. If I do this for another 90 days or another 6 months or another year, whatever it is, it's going to depend on the finances you have, the account you have, right? But do you feel, if you started new and you were given this and you were given 90 days just to focus on this, you'd know where you're going after that.
There's no reason why anybody couldn't come in, do this, do what I'm doing, and grow their account daily. Yeah. There's no reason why not. You need to have a bit of discipline.
Hi, Harriet.
So anybody could do this. It's like I said, the actual trading stuff is quite simple. It's the mindset stuff, and it's that human nature of, because suddenly, I was on demo for 6 months, right, before I even started trading live, and it was probably the worst thing that could have ever happened to me, because I got really good on demo, and then suddenly I went live and I was trading real money, and the mindset changes because suddenly that's real money. So I think
the emotion.
Demo for 2-3 weeks, and then go live as soon as you can. Because otherwise you've got to get over that next hurdle again, further down the line. But no, it's the best thing I've ever done, and I've got absolutely no regrets whatsoever. And I just encourage anybody to do this. And if you think you can't, look at what I've done. I'd never thought in a million years I'd be able to do this. I never thought in a million years I could do this. And if I can do this, honestly, anybody else could, because I'm not a mathematician. I don't know anything about maths, and you don't need to, because it's all done for you. There are tools you can use, there are calculators you can use, so it's easy.
Right. Yeah, it's awesome. And guys, those of you that are asking about the strategy, like I said, Sara teaches it freely to all the customers. She's recently done 2 brand new videos that I'm going to load into the team group today. So you'll have full access to that. You'll have access to Rob's strategy and the other strategies that we do as a team. So, get back to me as soon as possible. If you want to be a customer, we'll get you plugged in. We'll get you plugged into these strategies, and we'll get you rocking and rolling. You can either comment here or message me in the back. Sara, I want to thank you big time for coming along and sharing what you've done. Because I love the fact that you just grabbed like pieces from everywhere and put them together. It's not like you came up with your own strategy. You said, all right, I love this support resistance trendline stuff from like Christopher Derrick and Stevenson Lindor. You like my settings for the MAs, and you use the products to give you a heads up on where to go. I mean, and you've taken that all and married it together in this cool strategy that works. It's
I'm just using
brilliant.
the resources that are available and just putting them into a nice little package that works for me. So that's all I've done.
Yeah, it's brilliant, and that's what it takes, and that's what's cool about Forex. There's so many different ways to fit so many different personalities. So there goes my kids. Thank you, Sara, for joining me here. I appreciate it huge. I hope you guys all have an awesome day, and thanks for tuning in. Bye.
Thanks.